Republicans are flipping on each other hard. Lara Trump, co-chair of the RNC, found herself in hot water for attacking Larry Hogan, the Maryland Republican Senate candidate. She was on fire during an interview with CNN, slamming Hogan for his comments on Donald Trump's hush money trial verdict. Interview will watch the fallout of Lara Trump attacking Hogan and how it quickly backfired on her. First, let's talk about Lara and her clean-up control efforts. After Trump's conviction, Lara tried to spin the narrative by pointing out the huge amount of support they gathered through online fundraising, around $70 million post-verdict. It's basically classic strategy to shift the spotlight away from the legal mess and towards a more positive angle. You know, talking about all that money is a way to show strength and support, reassuring their base that everything's under control, despite the storm clouds brewing. And it's true, money does talk, but it doesn't speak for everyone's opinions. While the fundraising success might look impressive on the surface, it doesn't erase the fact that there are still some serious issues and controversies hanging over their heads. No matter the extent of their fundraising efforts, it cannot overshadow the voices of Republicans taking a stand, speaking out, and doing what's right, acknowledging the need to seize unwavering support for Donald Trump following his guilty conviction. It's all about accepting the verdict instead of lashing out at everyone else involved in the legal process. That's all Republican Governor Larry Hogan was trying to promote when he spoke out about Trump's conviction. And boy, did that cause quite a buzz. What's fascinating is that Hogan isn't just playing along party lines. He was more focused on the importance of doing what's right and respecting the legal system, no matter where you stand politically. It's like he's saying, let's all just play fair and respect the outcome, regardless of our personal views. But boy, did that light a flame under Lara Trump when he took that approach. Let's look at exactly what he said and exactly how she tried to throw him under the bus.
Republican Senate candidate Larry Hogan in Maryland, and again, I'm asking this in your capacity as one of the co-chairs of the entire Republican Party, and he's a popular former governor in Maryland. He wrote this right ahead of the verdict. He said, quote, "Regardless of the result, I urge all Americans to respect the verdict and the legal process." That is not the Republican Party line at the moment, and in fact, he was attacked by the top Trump advisor, Chris LaCivita, who wrote that he, quote, "just ended your campaign," end quote. Does the Republican National Committee support Larry Hogan for Senate?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I don't support what he just said there. I think it's ridiculous. And I think anybody who's not speaking up in the face of really something that should never again have seen the light of day, a trial that would never have been brought against any other person aside from Donald Trump.
But does the RNC support his bid?
The respect of anyone.
Well, he doesn't deserve the respect of anyone?
He doesn't deserve the respect of anyone in the Republican Party at this point. And quite frankly, anybody in America, if that's the way you feel, that's very upsetting to hear that.
So are you willing to cede the Senate seat in Maryland to the Democratic Party and not support Larry Hogan?
What I'll tell you is that we, of course, want to win as a party, but that is a shame. And I think he should have thought long and hard before he said that publicly.
Are you willing to use Republican Party resources to support his bid or not? It sounds like you're saying you're not.
Well, I'll get back to you on all the specifics monetarily, but what I can tell you is that as the Republican Party co-chair, I think he should never have said something like that. I think that's ridiculous.
Okay. Lara Trump really shot herself in the foot by going after Larry Hogan's call for unity and sticking to principles. All he said was respect the verdict and the legal process. What is wrong with that, Lara? That's exactly what Trump should be telling his supporters to do instead of causing more chaos and attacking judges and jurors for simply doing their jobs. How could such a straightforward and fair statement make you so angry? It seems like Hogan is breaking away from the dangerous trend among Republicans of putting Trump first above all else. You could see the clear split in the Republican Party between traditional conservatives and the Trump camp with Lara's criticism. Her attack on Hogan sends a troubling message that prioritizing unyielding loyalty to Trump supersedes democratic principles and accountability. The outcome of the Senate race in Maryland will undoubtedly be influenced by this clash of ideologies within the party. But unlike Lara's denunciation of Hogan and his run for Senate, it looks like she doesn't speak for everyone. She wanted to make a bold statement, but it totally backfired on her. Now enter Governor Chris Sununu from New Hampshire, who added an opposing outlook to the conversation that proves Lara Trump's comments might have caused more harm than good within the Republican Party.
So let me ask you about what the co-chair of the RNC just said about Larry Hogan, the Republican nominee for Senate in Maryland. She said he, quote, doesn't deserve the respect of anyone in the Republican Party. Do you respect Larry Hogan?
Of course. That was a bad statement by Lara, without a doubt. We want him to win the Senate race. He was a great governor of Maryland. He's talking to his constituents in his base. And I hope everyone in Maryland goes out and votes for him because he's just a great guy. He really is. We might not agree on everything politically, right? Sometimes I don't agree with his statements. I'm sure he doesn't always agree with mine. But he was a great governor of Maryland, and I have no doubt he's going to be a great senator of Maryland.
Oh, the drama in the Republican Party never seems to disappoint, does it? Lara Trump attacking Larry Hogan really shows how divided the Republican Party is right now. It's a tangled mess of loyalties, beliefs, and ambitions, adding more spice to the already fiery political arena. I am shocked that Lara was shocked by Hogan's call to uphold the rule of law and accept the jury's decision after Trump's felony conviction. Let's be honest. Anyone who's turning a blind eye to Trump's guilt is not doing our country any favors. In fact, they're showing exactly why someone like Trump shouldn't even be running for president again. The rule of law should always come first, no matter who you are. So kudos to those Republicans who are speaking out and demanding accountability. It must be pretty embarrassing for Lara Trump to go onto this offensive against someone advocating for respect and acknowledgement of Trump's guilty conviction. And then to top it off, having another Republican come in and praise that same person by saying he indeed deserves respect and would make a good senator. It seems the Trump loyalists are on edge, desperately trying to shield their fading legacy. Lara Trump's misguided attempts to silence dissent within her own party are not only embarrassing, but also reflective of a deeper rift tearing through the GOP. Even some Republicans themselves have stepped up to call